Okay, I'll go ahead and get started. Today we're going to talk about finding open educational resources, and I'm going to give you some search tips and some resource suggestions. And my name is Rachel Arteaga. I am a librarian at Butte College. So searching for open educational resources can be quite overwhelming if you haven't done it before, and even as someone who's done it quite a bit, I know that it can take some time to learn how to do it effectively. So I want to talk about how do you know where to start and what is the most effective method of searching. So before we talk about collections and repositories, I want to show you a site called Cool for Ed. It's for CSUs, UCs, and California community colleges have worked on it together, and they have what's called showcase reviews, which are quick places to look before you go do a more extensive search. It doesn't have a lot of resources, but the resources that they do have very thorough reviews, have been reviewed by other faculty, and they also have accessibility reviews, which can be really useful. They have detailed reports on those. So let's just look at these really quickly. Okay. So this is Cool for Ed, their showcase reviews. You can see they're organized by subject. Okay, so let's look. For example, here are some textbooks. Let's try this one, for example. So you can see the evaluations on the side. They have accessibility evaluations. So let's go to Introduction to Music Theory. Let's look at the accessibility evaluation. So there are certain scores. So let's see, this one, for example, has a 7.1. It tells you the different accessibility things that are in this e-book. And it just gives you more information. So go ahead and check this out if you have some time to look. So you can pause the recording here and take a few minutes to search Cool for Ed before we move on to the next resource. So now we're going to talk about searching open educational resources, repositories, or collections. So here are some basic search tips. Because a lot of the sites have, they've been tagged and information has been input by users, keyword searching is not always the best way to search. So I suggest searching by discipline or subject. You can try keyword search really quickly at first, but then go ahead and try to do it by discipline or subject matter if that's an option. And then if there are limiters, you can broaden or narrow your search. So what you want to do is search by discipline or subject, and then oftentimes they'll have an audience or education level. You can also search by material type and sometimes the license or condition of use. Okay, so the first one we're going to look at is OER Commons. It's really easy to search and narrow results. There are a lot of resources put in to this collection. You can search by discipline, and you can even create things and build resources with their creation tools. So let's go to OER Commons. So let's try biology. So you can see we're searching by subject. You can change the education level, and once you go into the search, it'll let you choose more options. So we can try community college. Let's do a search. So this is what it looks like. So we found 955 results for biology. You can change the education level. For example, add college. Sometimes it's good to start broad and then see what you get. If you're only interested in textbook, for example, you can limit it to textbook. So start broad. So you can see there's 59 results for textbooks. And let's just look at some of the results. There's a lot, let's see. So sometimes they, because like I said, they're tagged by users, they're not necessarily well tagged. So this is actually a psychology book. Let's try this one, Introduction to Molecular and Cellular Biology. So you just click on the link, it'll take you to the record page, gives you more information. So it has a Creative Commons license, which means you just have to give attribution, and then you can actually go to the resource to see the book. So it lays it out for you. It's through Sailor. You can go to the different chapters. Okay. So again, you can pause the recording and take a few minutes to search OER Commons. It's a good site to spend more time on because they have so many resources. So the next collection is a much smaller collection, but they have really high quality resources, and they are only textbooks. So it's the University of Minnesota's Open Textbook Library. They have a lot of stuff that, or rather, new books are added quite frequently, so it's a good place to go back and check periodically. And they also have reviews by people that have actually used the textbook, other faculty, basically. Oops, let's go back. So let's just look at this really fast. So again, there's not a whole lot of limiters on the site because it's a smaller collection of just textbooks, but you can browse by subject. There's a list of new books you can look at. And let's just look at one of the subjects. So let's try this one. So you can see it has 11 reviews. Not anyone can review. You can see they're reviewed by actual professors. And then you can go into the book, choose a format. A lot of them are press books, which is a ebook company that lays out books. And then you can see the different formats that you can download it as. Okay, so again, you can take a few minutes to search the Open Textbook Library, pause the recording here. So the last thing I want to show you is how to use Google Advanced Search, because there's a way to search for by license type in Advanced Search that can bring you to a lot of resources. A lot of times the resources that'll show up will be in collections, the collections that I showed you. So Google Advanced Search, there are different ways to get to it, but it should look like this. So you can go to Advanced Search. If you just go to Google, you can look under the settings. Sometimes it's at the top of the page or the bottom of the page, depending on how you have Google set up. And all you do is type in the keywords that you want. And what you want to make sure you do is go down and narrow the results by usage rights. So you want to choose free to use, share, or modify. And then just know that you will need to verify the license and the terms of use yourself. So let's go to Advanced Search and try a search. So I'm going to search for biology textbook. And you can use some of the other limiters too if you want. So use, share, or modify. Go to Advanced Search. So what comes up, Boundless is a company that has cheap textbooks to use. The first thing. Also, you can see open textbook. Wikipedia also shows up a lot of times because they're Creative Commons too. So I often have the best results using a Google search. It's kind of the most comprehensive. So you can see this is an open textbook. So again, you might want to take a few minutes to search Google Advanced Search, play around with different keywords and terms, and see what comes up. So if you need more help, you can check out the Further Resources page, which has a list of other resources you can search.